As long as there have been people in need, various needs, some easily identifiable, some not so obvious, some material wants, others of a more personal, spiritual nature. Through the ages, the Christian Church has been concerned with meeting these different needs. The founder of the Christian Church, Christ himself, set us a good example in this respect. In the 1880s, this man, Wilson Carlyle, a young priest working in London, saw many needs. The needs of the hungry, the ill-clothed, the unemployed. The need for the gulf between the established church and the working class to be bridged. The need for the ordinary Christian sitting in the pew to do something about this. That, in a nutshell, was the basis for the formation of the Church Army, a society of full-time evangelists undertaking evangelistic and social work within the framework of the Anglican Church. Since then, times have changed. People perhaps have changed a little. The Church Army has changed a great deal, although its reason for existence is still the same. But the needs of people have hardly changed at all. From this building, the many departments of the Church Army are seeking to bring relief, help, and comfort to those who, for some reason or other, come within the sphere and reach of Church Army officers working all over England.
In a children's home, with lots and lots of brothers and sisters, with lots and lots of brothers and sisters.
There are men who, for various reasons, are in need of hostel accommodation. Ex-prisoners, those with no home of their own. This hostel is involved in meeting the needs of those who sleep rough night after night, as well as providing permanent accommodation. Women lost or stranded in London are catered for by this emergency hostel in Marylebone. Also in London, we have residential hostels for women. This hostel in Brixton meets the needs of men who are disabled. The residents are taught various trades and skills, and much of the furniture for Church Army properties is made here. Also in London, there is a youth hostel, and in recent years, 2 centres devoted to drug addiction prevention have been opened. One of them is in Birmingham. We have one home for professional men, where teachers, solicitors, clergymen, and many others can spend a period of rehabilitation after a time of crisis before returning to a new position in life. The needs of the elderly are met in providing homes, real homes, by the Sunset and Anchorage Department. Here, our senior citizens can spend the last years of their lives in the sure knowledge that someone really cares for them. At Woking, there is a short stay home for those needing a holiday or a period of convalescence. Church Army Housing is at work providing homes and houses for those in desperate need of family accommodation. Many people have heard of shelter, but how many realize the work which the Church Army is doing in this sphere? For those still capable of looking after themselves, but needing the watchful eye of a warden, the Church Army introduced the Churchill Flat Scheme, an idea that has since been copied by many local authorities. For many overworked mothers and their children, a holiday is financially impossible. Through the Holiday Homes Department, the Church Army is able to meet this need. Moral welfare work, or as it is now called, social care, was pioneered by the Church Army. Our officers, all specially trained, work in Church Army, local authority, and diocesan homes. Under the new title of social care, our officers are involved in casework and in dealing with adoption. In South London, there is a mother and baby home for schoolgirl mothers. And in an atmosphere of Christian love and friendship, the question of what next can be dealt with. The Church Army is meeting the material and spiritual needs of men and women in the forces, both in this country and in Germany. Many older people remember the Church Army canteens in the 2 world wars. At some camps and bases, mainly in Germany, these still operate. Some officers work with the Royal Navy. 2 officers act as chaplain's assistants with the regular army. And 1 officer is attached with the Royal Air Force. In most of the major prisons in England, you will find a Church Army officer inside. On the right side, of course. The Church Army evangelist seeks to supplement and advance the work of prison chaplains. But often it is the family of the prisoner who suffers more. At headquarters, a small department exists to coordinate with officers and chaplains in bringing relief and friendship where it is needed. So far, we've been looking at the fairly obvious needs which people have: homes and shelter, food and holidays, care, love and friendship. But what about the not-so-obvious needs? Those people who are looking for a deeper meaning to life, a way to God. In quite a number of parishes in our country, you will find a captain or sister working full-time on the staff. They seek to assist and promote new areas of outreach from the local church to the surrounding community. Their task is to take the message and the grace of God to those who need it, but who would not necessarily admit their need. Children's work is all important today, and there is a children's mission department working in this field. Children's missioners undertake a number of tasks, including schoolwork and children's holiday clubs. Again, the aim of this work is to make the Christian message exciting and understandable to young and old alike. Scouting and guiding still has a great appeal for many youngsters. The Church Army is involved in this also. Through its Duty to God badge scheme, many groups are affiliated to the Church Army and take part in camps held at our centre at Sea Salter.
Doesn't have a friend. When her makeup perishes, a broken face defends. Ugly Sheila, ugly Sheila, ugly Sheila, God knows why she is.
Youth work has changed a great deal in recent years. Church Army officers run and staff our own and other authorities' youth centres in London, Fleetwood, Aylesbury, Bexhill-on-Sea, Harrogate and others. Their job is to help young people to see that the Christian message is relevant in an age where the name Christ is often heard only as a swear word. In our modern, multi-complex society, the emotional and personality needs of individuals are all important. Both Christians and non-Christians are often in need of specialized counseling. To help meet this need, there are 2 counseling centres, one in London, the other in Manchester. Specially trained Church Army personnel staff these centres and act as leaning, listening, sign and guideposts to those who come in need of counsel and friendship. The Christian believes that ultimately the greatest need anyone has is of a love for God. Proclaiming this message is still very much part of the Church Army's work. At one time, mobile mission caravans were numerous. Nowadays, the trend is for a team to work for up to 1 year in a deanery, conducting long-term mission work. But 10-day parish missions still have a part to play in helping to build up the life of the local church. Sharing the Christian faith in a series of informal home meetings is one way of bringing people to a realization of their need for Christ. Open-air opportunities of witness and proclamation, especially to holidaymakers, have brought many people face to face with a real experience of Jesus in their lives. Always eager to pioneer new areas of outreach, The mission department has gone to the Norfolk Broads for 2 weeks in the summer season with a team of officers and students living on and working from a boat. Even committed Christians have needs, not least of which is the need to be more effective as Christians in their daily work and witness. Mission officers are engaged in lay training work all over the country. Literature is produced for this purpose and printed at the Church Army Press near Oxford. The needs of other lands have not been neglected. The Church Army is now established in Canada, the United States, the West Indies, Belize City, Australia, New Zealand, and East Africa.
Universal beauty shimmering through man's freshly processed policy. Colors of sheer majesty blossoming by eyes that see can be seen.
And this brings us back to where we started, with people and their needs. The Church Army strives to do as well as to preach, to turn concern into action, and in so doing, to proclaim the love of God. Wherever the Church is involved in meeting human need, so you will find the Church Army, upholding and uplifting the crucified but risen Christ to all in despair.
In man's very weakness and suffering, God's very thought of loving that.
Who knows what needs, what problems will face society in the years that lie ahead? One thing we do know is that Christians will be involved up to the hilt, whatever the situation. This man had a vision which has lasted for over 90 years. Wilson Carlyle's vision has been kept alive by the permanent memorial to him, the Wilson Carlyle Training College. It is here that young men and women train for 3 years to undertake all the tasks which we have seen. For over 90 years, the Church Army has sought to meet the needs of people. One wonders what the next 90 years will bring.